Thank you for inviting me for this particular panel. And I've heard some people spoke eloquently about human rights, religious rights. As a Taoist, we have to consider very much like the philosopher earlier talked about, what is a human, what are rights? What rights, what is right? The ability to think, the ability to speak, the ability to move around. And we talked about religious rights, but I think human rights probably stands in front of everything. Because from human rights, you have other kinds of rights. As we know, for economic reason, political reason, religious reason, cultural reason, people have been oppressed and subjugated for centuries. And as one of the speakers talked about earlier, it's an unfortunate human condition. So as a Taoist, we always think about, you ask for religious, the right to fight. What is fight? Do you fight like Gandhi? Do you fight like the Tibetan fought against the Chinese? Do you fight against people who fight against even religious persecution? So political persecution, religious persecution, economic persecution are all detrimental to freedom, the ability for us to think freely, to believe freely, to act freely without harming others and of nature. My father always said, religion is the practice of your belief. The practice of your belief in our mind should be one of kindness. So we always say, changes has to come from within yourself. You have to be the person that's encompassing kindness, encompassing equality, diversity, generosity, so on. You have to be the one. From the inside, one has to change. Politics are going to go up and down. Empires rise, empires fall. Religion is the same way. Some religious powers can gain control for a long time and dictate people's thinking and people's ways of living. To me, that's not freedom. Freedom is the ability, as I mentioned, as some others have mentioned, the ability to think freely, to have critical thinking, to be able to speak our minds, even though we may have differences, and to be able to move from one place to another without fear of your life. My father was a philosopher major in Germany during Second World War. His initial interest was international law. My name in Chinese is Feng Chuan, or means you. Chuan means your rights. My father wanted me to uphold rights of humanity. But during Second World War, he realized that a piece of paper that was signed between governments are meaningless. Words are meaningless. Your action speaks the truth. So he shifted from international law to philosophy. And our family of tradition of Taoists, he taught Taoism. Taoism is a concept, it's a philosophy, it's a way of being that encompasses differences, yin and yang. we all come from nothing. And then we're born into this human form. So we say, have respect for this human form, cultivate this human form, cultivate life, and cultivate your nature. Cultivate your nature. Freedom is a valuable thing. Freedom of your own nature, freedom of your own mind, even more valuable. There's so much oppression that goes on, and we say that has to start from within your own heart. Those of you who are on the panel and spoke all come from a place of kindness, of good heart. And that's where it has to start. A place where education and environment enhance the ability for you to grow love, as one of the speakers talked about, as a foundation of human relationship. And from that, you can expand it to the universe, to Earth, to the respect of nature, respect of each other, and start out with respect of oneself. So I question religious freedom. I question the rights of anything. Think about that and be kind, is what we say, from a good place. And decide what form of quote unquote fighting that you want. So my statement is, yes, freedom, human rights is valuable and desirable. How you fight is your choice. Thank you for inviting me to this panel of speakers. Greatly appreciate this time that I can spend with all of you.